Hello and welcome to Real Madrid television news. Not long now until the much anticipated Madrid derby between the Spanish capital's two biggest football clubs kicks off at the Santiago Bernabeu. I'm here at the Vicente Calderón, where Atletico de Madrid had their final training session, an open doors training session ahead of tonight's big clash. 23 games and nearly 14 years have passed since the Rojiblancos defeated their neighbours in a competitive fixture. But that said, as Jose Mourinho pointed out in Friday's press conference, in a derby, anything can happen.
O Atlético encontrará las dificultades del Real Madrid que quer mantener la racha.
Listen, they'll find a Real Madrid side who want to keep that bad run for them going. And we'll see an Atletico Madrid who want to end that band run. They want to take advantage of the good moment that they're having to keep on winning and to try and break their bad run. And Real Madrid, we're coming from a defeat in the league and not a really good game, and we really want to win, and we really want to keep this good run against Atleti going. On a footballing level, I think it's going to be an interesting moment. A derby is a derby. Doesn't really matter about the situation of each team. Last season we were a lot above them, but we still knew that anything could happen in a derby, and we always respect Atleti. Tomorrow, they're above us. They've got more points than us. They're second, and they'll still be second after the game, irrespective of what happens. But it's always a derby, and it's always Atleti against Real, and it's always going to be a match that players want to be involved in, fans want to see, and I like it.
Jose Mourinho speaking in his press conference on Friday evening at the Santiago Bernabeu. Meanwhile, across town earlier this morning, Diego Simeone was putting his side to task with their open doors training session. Now, he's been urging the fans to get behind their team ahead of tonight's big derby, and get behind them they did. Plenty of cheering going on inside that stadium behind me, the Vicente Calderón. Diego Simeone has called up 22 players ahead of tonight's clash, including the injured Christian Rodriguez El Cebolla, who, although he has been called up, wasn't at training earlier this morning. Let's take a look at more details.
This was the welcome Atletico Madrid received from fans at the Calderón on Saturday morning as they came out for a light training session ahead of the city derby. 21,000 fans packed into the Atletico stadium to cheer their side on and to try and give them a lift for a fixture they haven't always done so well in. Atletico fans have to go back to 1999 for their last victory over their city neighbours. Coach Diego Simeone has almost a full squad to choose from. Winger Cebolla Rodriguez is out with a hamstring strain, but goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois has recovered from an illness and is available again.
After Atletico de Madrid's final training session, an open doors training session at the Vicente Calderón earlier this morning, they then made their way to their team hotel, the AC La Finca. Let's cross now to Alex Aljo, who has all the latest on the Whites.
Thanks, Rhiannon. Well, the stage is set here at the Santiago Bernabeu for El Derby, as Real Madrid prepare to take on their cross-city rivals, Atletico Madrid. Training took place behind closed doors on Friday morning ahead of Saturday night's all-important derby. Jose Mourinho had 19 players at his disposal, including youth teamer Jose Rodriguez. Raul Albiol was absent from the session after picking up an ankle strain in Tuesday night's Copa del Rey clash, as were Marcelo, Essien and Higuain, who are still recovering from their respective injuries. The squad started out stretching in one group and then moved on to short sprints and agility work led by fitness expert Rui Faria. The team looked focused ahead of one of their most important league clashes this season. The 75th Spanish League derby kicks off at the Santiago Bernabéu on Saturday night at 10 p.m. Central European Time.
Thanks for that, Alex. Well, Jose Mourinho and Diego Simeone are two hugely respected coaches, but tonight they'll be enemies for 90 minutes. But that didn't stop them showing mutual respect in yesterday's press conferences.
He has my full admiration for the coach he is. He is a winner, a coach who has left his mark wherever he has been. He has shown his capacity in several different countries. He won trophies with Inter, with Chelsea, with Porto, and he's winning trophies now with Madrid. That puts him in a very privileged position. He has succeeded with different players, ones with different characteristics. I went to watch him at work in training when he was at Inter, and we chatted a lot about football. He's a coach who I like a lot.
Tenemos buena relación.
I have a good relationship.
Hemos mantenido esa buena relación.
We've maintained a good relationship.
Siendo entrenador de
being manager
clubes rivales de la misma
of opposite
ciudad,
clubs
lo que
in the same
puede ser un poquito
city,
más difícil,
which could be a little bit more difficult. Speaking about the relationship with Diego Simeone,
que existe. Lo he conocido hace
I met him
unos años cuando estaba
a few years ago
en Inter.
when I was in Inter,
el contacto posible entre
and we've
entrenadores que no puede ser
maintained
nunca
the contact that's been possible being two rival managers.
Me alegro con
I'm very pleased
que las cosas le van
with the fact that things are going well for him.
En Europa, donde jugamos competiciones diferentes
And in
y
Europe,
no tenemos
we play in different competitions.
intereses
We have
comunes,
similar interests,
y agradezco su simpatía para conmigo.
and I'm happy with the kind words he said about me.
It's fair to say that Atletico de Madrid are on a roll, but they still have plenty of history to overcome in tonight's big derby. Real Madrid have won 17 of the last 23 meetings between the two sides. No doubt tonight's will be an exciting derby. Well, that's it for now from me and the rest of the news team here in the Spanish capital. Don't forget you can keep up to date on the Whites here on Real Madrid Television or by logging on to www.realmadrid.com. But from me here outside the Vicente Calderón, it's adios and enjoy the game.